All right, hello everybody, and today we are going to do two science experiments. So hopefully you have the materials all ready to go. I emailed those out to your families and kind of separated them so you know which ones we're doing for today's Friday fun activities. And then we have a really cool one that I'm excited for on Tuesday as our final experiment and lesson together as first graders. So we are going to do two experiments today. If you have your materials, awesome. If you don't, you can always pause the video, grab some things. If it gets to be where I'm going too fast, you can stop the video, catch up, and push play again. Or if you don't have the materials today, not a problem. You can watch it and then see if that's something that you'd be interested in doing at home by yourself or with a parent, because these first two are pretty easy. All right, so for our first one, I had told your families that we are going to be doing some explosions. Today we're going to work on explosion in our mouth and an explosion in a bag. And then on Tuesday, it's going to be an explosion in a bottle. So really exciting chemical reactions. And so we're going to get started. So for the first experiment, here's what you need. An orange. You don't have to have a whole orange. You can have tangerine. We just need a chunk of it. So get that. You're going to need a measuring spoon, your baking soda, and then like a plate or a bowl, something that you can put these on. This is going to be a really quick one. So if you have not gotten all of your materials ready, this is your chance to pause the video, go get an orange, tangerine, clementine, whatever you have that is citrus fruit, lime, lemon, those are all citrus fruits, because that's going to be our acid. Citric acid is what's in here. And then you're going to want to get this baking soda, not baking powder, but baking soda. That will be our base. These are both healthy alternatives for you to put in your mouth, so we're not going to eat a ton of baking soda, but we're going to have enough that it will make the chemical reaction and it will be safe enough for you to eat. All right, so if you do not have your measuring spoon, baking soda, and your orange, pause the video and go get those things. All right, so for those of you who are ready to go, what you need to do first is get a chunk of the orange. So I'm just gonna cut mine. Now, you might have a tangerine that you're peeling. Maybe your parent already peeled it for you. You only need one piece, so you don't have to cut the whole thing up, but you do want to make sure that you have at least one section of your citrus fruit that you can quick put in your mouth when we do our chemical reaction. So make sure that you have something cut or a peeled chunk of your clementine that you can use for our chemical reaction. All right, so if you don't have that cut up, pause it, get it ready to go, and then push play, and you can keep with us. Okay, so like I said before, this is a citrus fruit. Inside there is citric acid, and that's going to be the acid that we use. In order for the acid to react with something, we need to have a base, and it's kind of like the opposites. So you know how when you have magnets, and if the magnet sides are the same, they go together, and if they're the opposite, they push against each other. So we kind of want this acid and this base to work against each other. So you're going to take your measuring spoon. You need a half of a teaspoon. Okay, so if you have a full teaspoon, like your parent said, here's a teaspoon, you're only going to fill it halfway. We're going to do half of a teaspoon of baking soda. It's just a really small amount. So even if you're like, I don't know if I have the right amount, it's okay. Just a little scoop. And you're going to put it on your plate or bowl or dish that you have that does not have any juice from your orange. Don't put it where the juice is. So I'm just going to sprinkle mine on there. Okay, and it's a little hard to see because I have a white plate, but it's just kind of sprinkled in a patty right there. All right, so that's our base. What we're going to try to see is we're going to see if we mix our acid with our base, if it will do some sort of explosion in our mouth, which means it will bubble or fizz or make it feel kind of funny. And that means we created a chemical reaction. It's hopefully going to be releasing all of these bubbles, which are called carbon dioxide, and that's what we breathe out. take in our oxygen, get rid of the carbon dioxide. So this is hopefully going to make it feel kind of fizzy and bubbly in your mouth. All right, so if you're ready, you should have an orange slice or a tangerine or clementine chunk that's ready to go so it can go right in your mouth. You should have a little bit of baking soda sprinkled on your plate. And then we're gonna try it out. All right, are you ready? Okay, now when you dip this, just do a little bit. You don't want a ton of baking soda. It's safe for you to ingest, but we don't want a lot because it doesn't taste that great. So I'm gonna take my orange here. There's my orange. And I'm gonna do a little dip in the baking soda. Are you ready? Ooh. Oh, did you get some bubbles? Mine like fizz, like pop. I might need just another orange to get rid of that little fizzy taste. Hold on. Oh, I had a seed there. All right, should we try again? Yeah, okay. Take another orange. Ooh, that's fizzy. All right, so again, we're just putting a little bit of baking soda. You don't need a lot on, right? Ugh. Just a little bit on there, just a little dip. There's mine. Put it in your mouth, bite down, and then let's see if we can have that chemical reaction between the citric acid and the baking soda as the base, making all those bubbles of carbon dioxide that are trying to escape out of our mouth and fizzing and having an explosion in our mouth. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ooh. Gets me right on my tongue. Let me just have the spare one just to get that taste out. All right. All right. So, like I said before, we're doing a chemical reaction where an acid mixes with the base. It's going to start fizzing, getting that gas that is trying to escape out of there. And in our case, that gas was trapped in our mouth, so we felt all those bubbles going, and then the fizz is going, trying to get out. So that's our first one. All right, so if you're ever trying to play a trick on somebody, tell them how great it tastes, dip that in there and give it to them. Be like, oh, this is a little bit of sugar on there. Then they'll have that chemical reaction in their mouth. Okay, whew, so let's put that one aside. All right. So we had a little explosion in our mouth of that chemical reaction. Now we're going to do an explosion in a bag. All right, so for this you need a few more materials than what I had in that first one. Again, these were on your list, so you should have them in front of you. If you do not, let me tell you what they are first, and then you can take a second to pause the video and go get them. You're going to keep that baking soda. That's going to act as our base again. So if we use our knowledge of what we just learned, this is going to help do what? Make it bubble or fizz or get exploding, right? Okay, we're gonna need some vinegar. Okay, you don't need this whole chunk. In fact, what you just need is 1/3 of a cup. So you might have had an adult already pour some vinegar in, but you should have 1/3 cup, measuring cup. Okay. You're gonna need this time a tablespoon. So if you don't have an actual measuring spoon, a tablespoon is roughly like your normal size eating spoon. So if you just want to grab a spoon from your drawer, you can go do that. That'll be fine too. You're going to want a piece of toilet paper. You're going to need some tape. I'm not sure if I remembered to put that on your list, so if you don't have this, you'll want to go grab a little bit of tape. You're going to want a baggie. I have a quart-size baggie. I think this is going to be helpful when I'm doing the experiment, but if you just have a sandwich bag, that's fine. If you have a snack bag, like a really small baggie, you might want to try to get a bigger one just because it might be hard for you to keep two of our components away from each other until we're ready for the really cool explosion. Some sort of safety goggles. Even when we do science, we gotta look sweet. but we also need to protect our eyes. So if you have glasses or goggles or real safety goggles or goggles that or glasses that maybe your dad uses if he's out working, get something to protect your eyes. And then you need like a tin or a pan, something with edges, because if this gets, we don't want it to be all over our kitchen counter, right? It might be okay because these two things are good cleaning products. Your parents might be thankful that you had an explosion and now can clean your counter. But I'm going to use some type of tray. Okay, so I'll hold this like this. If you don't have these materials ready, pause the video right now so you can see baking soda, vinegar, a 1/3 measuring cup, or if you have a cup that has all of the numbers on it, you'll be able to see when you get to 1/3. A tablespoon, you can get a regular spoon, 1 piece of toilet paper, some tape, your safety goggles, a baggie, and then your tray, so that we can kind of make sure our experiment stays contained. All right, so if you need to, pause this video, go gather your materials, and then head back. If you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. All right, so I'm gonna push some of these things aside to give me a little more workspace, and I will take you through this step by step for our explosion in a bag. All right, so put your tray out here in front of you. I am gonna use a few directions just to make sure I'm giving you all the right steps. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is make our baking soda pouch. All right, so we're gonna trap the baking soda, what we have right here. Instead of just sprinkling it on our plate like we did earlier, we're gonna actually make a pouch out of it. So let me show you how to do that. The first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get that single square of toilet paper. Now, a lot of our toilet paper is thicker, so we have like 2 or 3 pieces that are stuck together. Mine has 2 pieces stuck together. So pull your pieces apart so you only have 1 piece left. So kind of get on the corner of that toilet paper. It's okay if it rips a little bit because you can use the one that maybe you didn't rip. But we want to pull it apart so you only have 1 piece of toilet paper. You can put the other one aside in case you need it or something messes up. All right, so you should have your 1 piece of toilet paper. Now we're gonna make our pouch. So what I want you to do is I want you to lay your piece of toilet paper right on your dish, whatever you brought, okay? It's really hard because it's shiny, sorry about that. And then you're gonna take your tablespoon, and again, you can have an actual tablespoon measuring spoon, or you can just get like a spoon that you have in your drawer that's about a tablespoon. And you're gonna get your baking soda. And what I want you to do is get, oh, I really gotta dig down in there. Get a spoonful of baking soda. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more. And you're gonna put this right in the center of your pouch to make kind of like a mountain of baking soda. And I need to get a little more because mine didn't really fill up. Okay, so you're making kind of like a little mound of baking soda in the center of your toilet paper. All right, so a big scoop, put it right in the center of your toilet paper. Good? All right, now you're gonna need that tape. Here's what I would do. You're gonna need to get a little piece of tape, and I'm gonna stick mine just right on the edge of my pan so it's ready to go. And then you're gonna need to get a big piece of tape, like a longer one. And I'm just gonna stick that there too, just so I have it. And if I need more tape, I can get it, but at least I have my first 2 pieces kind of ready to go. So little piece and a big piece. Go ahead and do that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make our pouch. So if you're not done with the tape, just pause me and then you can get caught back up. Super easy. All right, so we have our pouch with that mound of baking soda on the top. I want you to fold, and I'll show you again. You're gonna fold it and put your little piece of tape on there. And I'm gonna show you just kind of using this one so you can see it a little bit better. So if my baking soda was on here, I'm gonna fold it over like this, and then over like this, and put a piece of tape on it. So now I have a tube. Okay, so one more time. Got your baking soda in the middle. Fold this over, and put your little piece of tape right there to keep it shut. Okay. So we have our little tube like this. Don't hold it up. Yeah, don't hold it up. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold the other sides in, and you're gonna wrap your tape all the way around it. So you've got your long tube, you're gonna fold one side and the next side, then you're gonna put your long piece of tape around it. Okay. So here's I'm putting it all the way around it. So now I have this little pouch. Okay. So again, you had like your tube, and now we're gonna fold this side in, and we're gonna fold this side in, so you've got kind of like a square, and you're gonna wrap your tape all the way around. It's okay if it goes a couple times around. All right, so everybody should have their little baking soda pouch. All right, no baking soda's coming out because I got it taped up nice and good. If you are still having trouble with this, pause the video and get caught up. Okay, so we have our baking soda pouch. We wrapped it like a tube and put a piece of tape, then we folded it in, and we put a piece of tape all the way around, so we have this pouch that is sealed shut. Okay. All right, now here's where it might get a little tricky, so we're gonna kind of practice before we actually do it. I want you to take your baggie. Oh, I don't know what that was. Okay, if it's not already been opened, open it up. Kind of put your hand in there so the air's in there. Now, I want you to practice pinching the side and sealing it up. So none of the air is coming out. I'm not popping my bag. Don't do that because we don't want a hole somewhere. But make sure it's sealed up. Open it again. Pinch the side. Seal it all the way across. You have to be able to do that or else your experiment's not going to work. So let's do it one more time. Open it up. Pinch it. Seal it all the way across. You should be able to hear it, or maybe your things turn a different color. Okay, make sure it is closed. There should be a little bit of air in there. Okay. All right, now this time, I want you to pinch it, put it all the way across, check to make sure there's no air, and now you're just gonna open it a little bit, like halfway. All right, so I've got this half is open, and this half is still sealed. Okay, so one half of your bag is open, and this half is sealed up. Okay, yeah? Does your bag look like mine? This side's open, this side's sealed up. Okay, now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our vinegar into our bag, and we're gonna seal it up. Okay, So remember, we opened it halfway. And now in a second, we're gonna pour our vinegar in and then we're gonna seal it up. Is my baking soda pouch in my bag? No. We're not touching that yet. Right now, you should have your baggie. It's halfway open. The other part is sealed. We're gonna pour our vinegar in and you're gonna seal it up. Okay, so for your vinegar, get your vinegar. You're gonna need 1/3 of a cup. So this is already measured out to be 1/3. If you have a tall measuring cup, you're gonna look for the 1/3. That's 1/3. 1/3. Okay, so you're gonna pour, we're having adult help you. Pour your vinegar up to 1/3. So for me, I had to fill my whole thing. I'm gonna set it down for a second. If you have a measuring cup, just fill it to the 1/3, 1/3. Okay. Everybody got your things poured? All right, now, remember you have yours open only halfway. We don't need it all the way. You're gonna pour your vinegar inside and then I want you to seal it up. Okay? If you need some help, get it. I'm just kind of opening it with my hand, pouring it in. Get that out of the way. And I'm sealing it up. All right, so you see my vinegar at the bottom there? Yep, there it is. My bag is sealed. Okay, that's what we want to see. If your bag is not sealed up, it's not going to be as cool of a reaction, and it's going to be a huge mess. Okay? All right. Then your parents are going to say, we are not letting you do the other science experiment with Mrs. Fauner on Tuesday. And that's the best one. All right. So we have it sealed up. Now here's what we're going to do. And I'm going to tell you first. I want you to watch. I'm going to pretend to really do it, and then we're going to do it together. But I want you to practice. So in your thing, take your baking soda out if it was in your pan. We're going to put this bottom part in our pan, and we're going to hang the rest of the bag over the side. See how that's hanging over the side like that? So do that with me. Here's your baking soda, here's your bag. Take your baking soda out, put it away, put it on the side. Take your bag, set the liquid part in there, and hang the rest over the side. Am I using this part? No, because I want as much as I can hanging over the side. Now, in a minute, move this way so you can see better. I'm gonna stick my baking soda pack right inside here. Not down here. It's not gonna be out here. I'm gonna put it right inside here and I'm gonna seal my bag shut again. Okay, is it mixing yet? No. I'm gonna put it in here as close to my zipper as I can. And then I'm gonna zip it shut. So let's just practice, make sure we have everything in the right spot, and then we're gonna do it. Baking soda pouch is outside. I keep doing the wrong way. Here's your baggie. It's all sealed up. Put the vinegar down in your pan, hang as much as you can over the side. So mine's tucked really nice. If you have it like this, it's gonna be really hard for you to keep the baking soda away from the vinegar. And if our vinegar is the acid and our baking soda is the base, we know that when an acid and a base mix, some reaction is going to happen. So we don't want it to mix yet. It's going to kind of ruin the fun. All right, so let's do this slowly. Got your pouch? Got your vinegar? Yeah? Okay. Oh. Oh. I almost forgot. Get your safety goggles on. It's going to get exciting. All right, we're gonna put our pouch in here, closest to the zipper part, and we're gonna zip it up, and then don't do anything else. So I'm unzipping it, sticking my pouch in there, and I'm sealing it back up. Okay, so see how my pouch is over here? My vinegar's in here. I'm gonna do another quick check. I gotta make sure it's sealed. seal it up. Seal it up. Okay, now, vinegar is in here, that's our acid. Baking soda pouch is here, that's our base. Our thing is sealed up. Our eyes are protected. Swim goggles, glasses, sunglasses, work things, construction worker goggles, whatever you have. Eyes are protected. Now, in a second, we are going to lift the bag. We're going to shake it 1, 2, 3 times and then put it in our pan and see what happens. Do you think you can do it? Are you a little nervous? I'm a little nervous because I'm going to be honest, I'm just doing this with you for the first time, so we'll see what happens. Okay. I'm going to double check and make sure that thing is sealed tight. I got to check it again. I'm going to do kind of like a little pretend peek to make sure nothing's coming out. Okay. Ready? We're going to tip it, shake it, how many times? 3. And then we're going to set it in our pan and see what happens. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Tip it, shake it, 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, mine's getting big. Mine's getting big. You can't really see it. It's getting big. Whoa. I'm kind of afraid to touch it, but I want to show you. Look how big my bag is. I think if I had a smaller bag, it would have popped the bag. The pressure would have been so big. Holy smokes. Is yours pretty big? Did any of yours pop? Oh my goodness. So what happened? Well, that acid that we had, that vinegar, mixed with the base of the baking soda. It got all chemical reaction-y, and it produced that carbon dioxide, just like when we did the orange citrus acid, and we put it with the baking soda, and all these bubbles went in our mouth. All the bubbles are here, but this time, instead of being able to escape out of our mouth, like we did when we were eating it, they got trapped by the baggie. So there's all this carbon dioxide that's trapped by the bag, and if your baggie exploded, that means that the force of the carbon dioxide was so powerful it found a way to break out of your baggie. Mine has 2 zippers, thank goodness, so it stayed in there. But if you used a smaller baggie, or maybe you only had 1 zipper at the top, your bag might have exploded, and that carbon dioxide went out into the air, and now you just have your vinegar and baking soda mixture. All right, so there's mine. Look how much carbon dioxide I trapped in my bag. So today we learned a little bit about 2 different acids, citric acid from the orange, vinegar as our other acid, and we mixed it with the base of baking soda to see a reaction occur. One occurred in our mouth where it fizzed and bubbled and felt kind of tingly on our tongue, but that carbon dioxide was allowed to escape because we opened our mouth. Here, we did another chemical reaction, but this time we trapped the carbon dioxide in our bag, or maybe you didn't if your bag exploded. And so the force was so great that it had to push out all those carbon dioxide gas bubbles into the air, or we kept them trapped in here. All right, so I really hope that you had fun learning a little bit about acids and bases. On Tuesday, I have another experiment that we're gonna do. This time, I'm probably gonna need to be outside because when I've done it with my students, it gets a little messy, and so we might just have to see what happens when we do it together. So I hope that you were able to get all the materials for our next experiment on Tuesday. It'll be our final lesson as first graders, and I think it's a good one. So I'll check you guys out later on Tuesday. Have fun this weekend and doing your Zoom lessons on Monday. and I will see you again for another great science experiment. Bye-bye.